I am not home. I am at my girlfriend's house. We are being socially distanced, but we've set 3 days aside to sew. I really needed that and I'm enjoying it, but I had to sneak away so I could come meet with you guys. And I'm feverishly, I think that's a word, working on the basket quilt. I'm very happy with how it's coming out. I really wanted to do applique on it and it's just not working. So, quilts are like kids. They come out with their own personality and you have to listen to the whole thing, okay? So, I've got some questions and answers. You got questions, I might have answers. I don't know. But before we get started on that, we're really looking forward future of these live broadcasts and how great it is that we can connect with you guys on a personal level. Oh, I want to say this too. John is not with me, so I may not be seeing questions that you might have. If I don't address them, just send them to customer service and put, ask Alex, okay? So, the one thing we have on the front page of the site, right? Okay, so wait, start over, rewind. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so we're looking at this platform as being really great, connecting with you guys. Something really special has happened here. I never would have imagined it ever, what has happened here, and I'm ever so grateful in my heart, and I don't want it to end, okay? But we're thinking about bringing in maybe guest people to maybe do some things that they've done. I or Ricky will, bookend it at the beginning and the end, so they don't even have to deal with the lives. But different projects and this and that. So I'm also thinking of what I'm going to do after baskets. I mean, I'm looking at it more seriously. Whereas when we came on board, it was just by the seat of our pants, right? Because just we were thrown into this situation. So one of the things we're looking at is a project, and we have it with Jennifer Sampu with her. Well, you'll see this fabric because her show's going to air next week. It's just beautiful, and we thought, okay, if we got a jelly roll of it, I don't want to. Well, it's about working with digitally printed fabric, and she has a collection called, I think it's Sky. I get them all mixed up because they're not my children. And it goes from light all the way to dark, and you've got 1,000 million colors to play with. And a jelly roll of this would be like candy, okay? And so she said, well, maybe I could do a project, something like this, where we have like a beach tote or a picnic tote, along with a quilt to hang out on. And this is all made, and this isn't exactly it, you guys. I believe she's teaching this at Craft Napa. So if you're interested, but we're talking a tote and a blanket, quilt, excuse me, and a jelly roll, and then maybe if you look at the yellow, another color to ancillary, add into so you can get the size of it. And so we're taking a little survey on the front page of TQS if you would be interested, okay? Because here's the issue. As we've lived through it, we have to figure out how much to order. And with Cave's fabric, we were just thrown behind the bus on that one. On the next one, where we're going to be using Editus fabric, we have X amount, okay? And so we'll make it very fair that we can all get at it at the same time, but also that doesn't matter. I'm confident that a lot of you have stashes you might want to dig into, okay? So if you wouldn't mind just go filling out the survey. It's short. It does not commit you to anything. It just gives us a ballpark idea of what we should order. And the longer we wait, the more the chances are of diminished returns of what we can get. So we need to get on that immediately. The other thing is I got to say this right now too. Facebook has changed, and I am going through it this morning. I'm at a loss. And so if you need to get hold of me give me a couple weeks to understand Facebook. Send it to customer service at thequiltshow.com, and Brandy will forward it. Why it was working before. I finally figured out how to get to your questions. Okay, Barbara, Oh, wait, let me go through a little bit more here. Okay, somebody else said, why don't we have some kind of quarantine label? Well, guess what? We do. And it's been there on the site, but we have hidden it. So let me tell you what it is. We've changed it from the original. I wanted, Kristen developed this, and I wanted to add 2020 COVID-19 pandemic. Heaven forbid, if we're still in it next year, then we'll make it 2021. But it's free, it's downloadable. This is how you get there. It's kind of hidden, all right? So you're going to go on the front page and you're going to write the word quarantine in the search bar. And remember, quarantine, the first two vowels are A's. That's how you spell it. I had to learn that. And then you're going to go, it's going to take you here. And you're going to have See Quilts tab or Blog tab. Click the Blog tab, and then there you are. And this was the old one. That's the old one. That's the before. This is the after. So I think it would be really great if we, somehow get that on the back of our quilts, whether you print it on fabric or whatever. But it was suggested, and I thank you for that. Let's see. My notes are all screwed up. Oh, this is really important too. I'm confident that a lot of you belong to guilds, okay? And as you know, we're going to Zoom lectures, which for me is a blessing because I had to stop doing guilds because you guys book out like 2 years in advance and I just couldn't do it. I can book out 3 months in advance. That's not an issue. Well, Lyric Kennard and Sue Bleiweiss have knocked it out of the ballpark. They've created a site, the globalquiltconnection.com. globalquiltconnection.com. Today, they're doing Meet the Teachers where you get 3 minutes. I believe they've already done 2. So now, and then there's today. So it'll be 90 people, and they're going to do another one next week. So if you guys are looking for things for your guild, this is the way to go. And I was saying to one guild I was talking to, and I may have already said this, but forgive me, is that I love this. And when pandemic's over, I can't do guilds again because I just don't have the time and I'm not going to book out that far. And I think it was the Portland one. They said, no, what we're going to do, what we might do is still start having meetings in person. And then what we're going to do is do a Zoom and then put you up on a screen. And I'm like, going, think about it, you guys. It saves money for traveling for your teachers, for putting them up in a hotel, for food and all of that. I mean, it is a win-win. And I'm actually getting some gigs now, and I'm pretty darn excited about it. Okay, that I can't talk about yet. Okay, Lilo has a book that is fabulous on studio spaces. It's sold out. We're having it. We're getting more. I don't want to talk about it till we get it because this is what's happened. I know a couple of you are really frustrated because you haven't gotten your color tool. And I am so sorry about that. It was hung up at the manufacturers. Blame it on COVID. They lost the box that was supposed to be shipped to us. And now they have found the box. And so it's coming. It'll probably be another week till we get it. I understand your frustration, and you've expressed it to Brandy, and just know if you're frustrated, we're that times 10, okay? We don't like being in the position where, and then we're in the idea, do we take back orders? Do we not do it? I mean, just all this stuff. It's just a mess, okay? So then let me see. Debbie asked, on flying geese, what is the cutting ratio? Don't think of it that way, Debbie. Think of it as magic numbers. For the big triangle, you take this measurement and you add 1 1/4, and it's a quarter square triangle, and you go like this, then cut it, boom, boom. For this triangle, that's a half square triangle, you add the magic number to the finished side, 7/8. It's not a ratio. If you get into ratios, it's going to get all screwed up. And ask me how I know. Okay. In our kits for the next quilt, there are 26 cuts of fat quarters. Okay. So I was thinking that's 13, that's 6, 13, 6.5 yards will be in it. So people were wondering about that. So, and we're getting close. We're getting close. Let's see. And then Barbara asked, why was the change of direction happening in the border of my quilt? The change of direction is because I like the corners to stick out that way. It's a personal preference, and I just absolutely love it. Okay, let's take a look at some more quilts. Again, make sure you go. Oh, Suzanne said, when's the next cave class? This actually, I shouldn't even, it's Alex's mystery. I'm not doing another one with Cave's fabric right now, but you can certainly go to the front page and you can go to go down, and it's the playlist, and then you can just watch whenever you want. And I believe these lessons will be there forever and ever. Amen. And by the way, after we look at quilts and we get into the next studio thing, I gotta show you. I have permission to show you in here. She said it was messy. No, not even close. Okay, Peggy. Gosh, Peggy. If you guys were here on Monday, Peggy was struggling. And we said, just stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. Peggy, you stayed with it and you won. You became the pirate of the ship, the captain of the ship on this. And I was talking to my friend Cindy Needham, and I forget what expression she uses, but at about 70%, quilts can kind of become like your worst enemy, and you just have to stay with it. So Constance is having that problem right now with this. She's just kind of like, she doesn't know what to do. First of all, it's fabulous. I see your 4 stars. It's fabulous. Sit with it for a while. It's okay to walk away from a quilt. I know, and then come back to it. But like Peggy's, it's you've got it. You've got it going on there. You got it. Okay, so just stay with it. Paula, with the house in the middle. I don't think we've seen this one before, but then I see the stars. And I just adore this. I was saying to my friend, we're sneak sewing and we are socially distanced, that this thing has just knocked my socks off. Okay, Sherry, thank you for resending this one, okay? And now wait a minute, is this Sherry's? Let me close these out and then get back to that. Now wait a minute, let me go to Patsy's. There we go. I got out of order. Sherry, I'll get back to you in a minute. Thank you for sending. This is Patsy's, and Patsy, I smiled because that is one of the sets that I do with either half square triangles or flying geese, and it looks like you did half square triangles. If I don't know what to do for the border, and so then Paula, I think this is speaking to you. God, I hope I'm not screwing these all up. No, not Paula. I'm not speaking to you. I think I'm speaking to Constance. God help me. There we go, Constance. I'm lost. Okay, there we go. You can just make a bunch of half square triangles, and many things can come out of half square triangles. This is one of them that comes out, a ziggy-zaggy border, and I've used that on my star quilts before. It just frames the whole darn thing in. So you can just make them, put it up on your design wall, and just have at it. Okay, and Cami, thank you for sending how you ended up with the border. She said, I think it came to her in the middle of the night type thing. So we watched you make it. We watched the sashing, and I was like, put in a little extra sashing, bind it, but nope, you won, Sherry, or Cami. That's absolutely fab. Okay, Sherry, thank you for sending me this. This is the quilt, resending it. This is the quilt that I was talking about. That's probably the most Cafe-esque of all of them, if you want to understand how his style works. It's how your eye just blends from one to the other. She was making blocks and had white in them, and she didn't like it. And so those ended up on the back of the quilt. Yay, nothing goes to waste. But look how beautifully this all blends together. Fabulously. Okay, now this is where I'm in trouble because I got it off Facebook today. I do not understand the new Facebook, and so I was asked for help, and I don't know your name, so forgive me for this. I want to show you guys. It was like, do I do this or I do this? So let's look at help one. wonder if I can move that to the side. I bet I can. Yes. Okay. Let's look at how it's going down diagonally and how lovely that is. And there is color organization in that going on. The next one. Let's move this one to the side. Or this one. Oh, wait, that's the same one. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, no, it's not. I don't know. I don't know. At first, I gravitated to the one that's kind of like mine, but the subtleties that are on the right-hand side are amazing. So you guys can all vote right here as we look at this. I don't know. They're both winners, absolute winners in my book. The only thing I might do on the left-hand one, if I went with that, I might take on the right-hand side where the purple is, and then it goes to the, no, that's the way that would run. There's a lot of organization in this too. Huh. I don't know which one. I think they're both magnificent. So sorry to not, I know, here we are. I like the one on the left. Okay, both. Okay, here we go. I like the one on the left. Both of them are great. Isn't this fun? I love this. Right side. Oh, God. You know what? And I'm sorry I lost your name and I couldn't go back and find it. Flip a coin. So before we get into the studio stuff, I want to show you a couple things of this studio. Excuse me while first of all, it's 2 bedrooms where the wall has been knocked out, okay? And on this, I want you to see, my friend is opposite of me. Look at her fabric. This is insane. Look at this. This is opposite of me, I'm going to tell you. And we are going to get to my studio. I mean, I love it. Okay, so then at her sewing station, this is where she sews here. And she looks outside, beautiful, beautiful view. But then the other bedroom that the wall is knocked out, there is her long arm, okay? Perfect. But I'll tell you what struck, I mean, this is the most time I've spent up here, but look at this with her AccuQuilt. I need to do something like this. So all the dies are there just ready to go. And then she goes, it's messy. Oh my God, she's gonna kill me that I'm opening up her cupboards. All her rulers are right here, right in here. And look, everything's labeled. Let me make sure you can see this. This is kind of fun. This is really fun. It's got her ironing board right here. I'm walking by. This is a very, very organized space. Very organized. Libby Lehman's is the same way, and we'll be getting to hers. I can only dream to have my space this organized, okay? So I know I'm loving her room too, Linda. Oh God, it's wonderful. But the main thing is here is that it is 2 rooms that the wall was knocked out. And then over here, she's got a design wall that her threads are a part of, but you can see the little lammies she's working on. And she's got all that in there. And I think it's just batting. But look at on the top where she wants to hang a quilt. Look at that. It's the board with the clips in it. Super cool. So I know this room is to die for. I may not go back down to the living room. Okay, so let's go take a look at some sewing. So, okay, here we go. I'm going to go to my screen. Oh, and there's my Freddie. If you guys have not seen Linda, it might be Robin's space. It might be. If you have not seen, here we go. It's the studio I'm in is a personal friend of mine. Okay, I gotta figure this thing out. Sorry, you guys, give me a minute. Where's John when you need him? Okay, let me go here. Let me get rid of this on the side. Sorry. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. If you guys have not seen the Freddie show yet, you are missing out. Freddie, it's Sujata and Freddie. They're absolutely fabulous together. Now, Freddie, as you know, if you have seen the show, Color is her life, all right? It's completely her life. And so this is very much how Freddie's work is. And as her eyesight is failing, she is 90 now. She does a lot of this collage stuff where she just glues it down. That's it. This, I believe, was the garage. I'm not sure. Um, I know we talked about it in the show, so I don't know, but this is the front of her house, okay? And I'm telling you, if you haven't seen the show, you walk in to her house and there is color everywhere. And remember last time I showed you Jim Hucks, how he went and painted his kitchen after being in Freddie's house. It's just a feast for eyes. And she has a tree growing inside. Here's another piece of hers. She probably did this about maybe 10, 20 years ago. Fearless with color. Fearless. So this is her sewing room, and you can see that it too is filled with color. I think I have a close-up of this particular center aisle, but I love it because you'll see how her fabric is stored in a minute. But like Diana's, where she had a basket where she had scraps and stuff, Freddie has these pull-out bins in this table. I love this table, and it probably would be one that I might mimic if I ever had one built. So she likes her fabric in an open concept where she can see it, and she doesn't worry about it fading or anything like that because she uses it faster than whatever. For me, I'm such a slob. This would look like horrible. Okay. So when we visited this studio, and this was so that I could see if she had, things that I might want to duplicate as I built my studio. While I love this in hers, it was not for me. Yeah, there's the bins. That's absolute super. I mean, there's not an inch of wasted space under this particular cabinet. And I know for mine, which you will see, there's a ton of wasted space. And it's something I just haven't dealt with on what to do. So, one of the biggest takeaways in her studio that if I had a do over with mine is that she has sliding design walls. So, you can see there's one on top and one behind. And she can be working on one thing, get rid of it, and then take the other one, just slide back and forth, back and forth. I think that's absolutely brilliant. Jean Wells has a version of this that I will be showing you at some point. And here are her quilts. This is in one of the guest bedrooms, and she recently went and sold a ton of her quilts. Her daughter-in-law said to her, she has all boys. Her daughter-in-law said to her, look, Freddie, this is going to end up being my issue when you're no longer with us. Please get rid of some of your quilts. So Freddie did. Okay, now the next is, and for probably a lot of you, you just went, oh, the late Yvonne Porcella. Yvonne started Sakwa, and she also has an issue working with bright colors, or did. No, I'm kidding. She was a pioneer in the quilting world and beloved. And it's interesting because when I put these together, I thought, do I take her out because she is deceased? And I thought, no, I'm going to celebrate her. So here is one of her pieces. Actually, Yvonne is it was Jean Ray Laurie. I'm sorry. Jean Ray Laurie and Yvonne, to me, were pioneers also in the women's movement. And it just came through textiles. So Yvonne lived in Modesto, and then they bought a house, actually an A-frame cabin up in Arnold. And they built an upstairs. So, or maybe it was a loft or whatever, but it got converted to her space. And I'm going to tell you right now, when you went up into her area, it was like you were in a tree house. It was absolutely fabulous. Now, I want you to take a look at under her table, and probably I could take a lesson from her and get a little more organized, like how she's doing it, because it's not wasted. And that's the thing I found in so many of these cases, there's no wasted space. Every inch has been shown to use to its maximum. All right, so now okay, let me go back here. I'm facing out the window. Now I'm going to turn left, and that's what I'm looking at. Okay, yeah, because you can see where the table is, okay? So, oh wait, she too has 2 rooms. But one of the things I adored in this room, adored, is this. Oh, well, I'll get back. It's in here. Let me do that. Okay, this is the other room. Okay, so it's an L-shaped thing, and I love that she can get so far away from her design wall. So it's an L shape, and then in this there is a table also. There, this is what I'm going to say. This corner, I adore this corner. It is so welcoming. Who would even think that you would find this in a sewing room along with that crystal chandelier on top? Yvonne, it was a very spiritual person and very involved with the Catholic Church. And so you will see little icons here that really explain who she is spiritually or was. God, I miss her, and I know the whole quilting world misses her. She was an amazing asset to our community. And I want to go back to the design wall because it's a sewn grid. It's not a printed grid. Look at that. I just noticed that. And that's another way you could do it if you didn't want to be distracted by the blue lines. I'm wondering if that isn't upholstery fabric that she found somewhere that was already done. I'll bet it was. Or a bed thing or something like that. Okay, it's on. I gotta figure that one out. Okay, so now we are gonna stop this part today. And there's my dear Libby, of which we will do on Friday. Let me get back to my camera, my screen, my camera. And people are asking, am I going to do my sewing room? Yes, I am. And my timing may change a little bit. I've got so much here and I don't want to jam through it too fast because I think if I were thinking about redesigning a sewing room or doing one, I'd go back and watch these again. This was ever so helpful for me to be able to wrap my brain around what works for me versus not. Again, I'll get to my room down the road. My room is about 500 square feet, and I'm finding that it's too small, which really the bottom line is that means I have to get rid of stuff because that's ridiculous. I mean, that's a huge space, and I'm ever so grateful for it. I just have too much stuff, and I know none of you have that issue. Absolutely none of you. Let me see what's going down here in the questions. So Friday, it's Libby, and I forget who's next. And Friday is the queen of organization. Although, looking at Robin's, I don't know. She might have stiff competition. So this is what we're looking at on Friday. I'll be able to probably tell you when I'm pretty sure the bundles are going to go up for sale. I will be able to show you something new that I have discovered that you may want to invest in if you purchase the bundles. And even if you don't purchase the bundles, it's a really cool mat for your sewing machine. I'm loving it, and I'm playing with it. I'm playing with it a lot before I talk about it. And I might even have to show you on Wednesday when I've got John here who can video it. I don't know. So anyways, you guys, this has been a great day. I'm going to go down and guess what I'm working on? Baskets. And I'm having a ball with it. It does have an opinion, and I am trying to respect the opinion. And I so appreciate that you guys are putting stuff up in the forum. I keep saying that, and I want to thank you for that. And thank you for your patience on the shipping. I know how frustrating it is. I know when I pick out something that I want from Soft Surroundings, and they said you're not going to get it for 2 months, I'm like going, I get a pouty lip, but then I go, okay, but that's fine. So, okay, so Brenda says your studio is 160 square feet. I'm going to tell you this right now. We're going to get into wee spaces too. Not everybody has a big room. So it's wee spaces will be in this too. And you might be amazed what people have done. So anyways, I think I'm just looking at these things. Everybody have a great day. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with us. our group. Maybe we have to have a name for it. I don't know. Our virtual world guild. And don't forget that thing that's going on today at, where's all my notes? At the globalquiltconnection.com. It's how you guys can find who's doing these Zooms and this and that. And you might also find who's doing online classes. I'm partaking in them. You know, I'm doing Rosalie Dace. I'm doing Joe Cunningham. I'm doing Joe Cunningham, Rosalie Dace. There's another one, and Joanne Sharp. I'm doing a lot of online class things, and I love it because it's when I want to do it. So, okay, you can watch this later, you guys. That's the other thing. People ask, is it going to go away? No, it's housed on the front page of thequiltshow.com. Go down to playlist, and there it will be, and it will reside there till I'm a little old lady. Okay? Have a good one, you guys. Bye-bye.